Hey, okay, so what we're going to do in this video is explain how to do ceilings and ceiling plans. So, as you can see right now, I am in a floor plan. This is the first floor plan. You can see over here on the left side, first floor plan. So, if you have your levels set up right, which it would look something like this, if you did have them set up right, go to one of your elevations. Let's say north elevation. I have, and I'm using my trackpad here. So I'm going to have to use a region to see what I'm doing. I can't just zoom in with my mouse. Okay, so over here I have roof level, second floor level, first floor level, and then ground level. So I have 4 levels because I have 2 separate stories. So I have first floor and second floor. So you have to have at least these levels set up to be able to do the ceiling plans, because the ceiling plans are based off of these levels. So if I go to my first floor ceiling plan under here, right now, if I zoom in again, I don't have anything in the walls. I just have a floor. So right now, even though it looks blank, I am just looking at the bottom of the floor of the second floor. I don't have a ceiling yet. So I need to add a ceiling. So I'm going to go up here to ceiling, click ceiling. Now I could hover in here and it turns red and make an automatic ceiling, but odds are you don't have a big blank space like I do, because I don't have any rooms in mine yet. So I'm going to go to sketch ceiling because this is probably what you guys are going to do. I'm going to click sketch ceiling. I'm going to use the boundary line just like this, and you're going to sketch around the inside of whatever room you're doing. Now you probably want to have the same ceiling size for all your rooms and the whole floor, so you can sketch all the way around the inside of the interior edge of your main walls for that floor, just like this. So I look over here, my level is first floor, my height offset is 8 feet, and that's good for this particular floor, and I'll show you why. So once I get the shape in at 8 foot above the floor, I'm going to say okay. Now you see by default it automatically puts in compound ceiling, which is 2x4 ACT, which is like what we have in our room, except it's 2x4 instead of 2x2 like in our room. We can change this to something more normal for a house, would either be generic or chipboard on metal stud. In your house, a normal house would probably have chipboard, except metal stud, it would be wooden stud, but we can use this to do this. So it changes it. Now it's plain chipboard, you can't see it, but if you go to the edge right here and press tab a couple times until it outlines just the edge of the ceiling, you can click it and see that it is there. So the reason 8 foot is a good distance for our particular floors, or mine at least, if I go to my elevation, I have 10 feet between the first and second floor, right? Now the second floor starts at 20 feet. It is 12 inches thick. If you use the 12-inch basic floor, it is 12 inches thick, which means that 19 feet is the bottom of the floor. So that's only 9 feet between the first floor and the bottom of the second floor. That leaves 1 foot if we put in the ceiling at 8 feet. So it'll have the ceiling at 8 feet, 1 foot of space, which is good because you have to run like ductwork and stuff like that, and then another foot for concrete. Because if you didn't space it apart that far, maybe you only did 9 feet, that's okay. You should probably put your ceiling at 8 foot anyway, because you don't want to go too much shorter than 8 foot for the ceiling. All right, so once you have that, how do I put in lights? Let's go back to our first floor ceiling plan, double click it. We can zoom in some more on like maybe the dining room area or bedroom area. To put in lights, you have to go to component, and you're gonna, I already have some loaded in, so let's pretend I don't have any loaded in. I'm gonna go to load family, And then we're going to scroll down to lighting and architectural. Internal is inside the house, external is outside of the house. So this would have like outdoor lighting and stuff like that, street lights, a wall pack light for the outside of your house. So we're going to go to internal. And we have ceiling lights that are round. We have box lights, kind of like what you see in a kitchen. Down lights, which they actually go into the ceiling. They're recessed. A spotlight, strip light. Let's try strip light. Now all these lights are underneath internal lighting. So you can use nearly any of these except for the ones that say floor. Those actually go on the floor. And table, that goes on a table. So we're going to go down light. I'm going to do the strip lighting. So I'm going to say open. And it's loading. Okay, interesting. So this one's not showing up. Let's see. Okay, that one must not be a ceiling mounted one. So I'm going to undo that one. Go back to a more basic one. I'm going to do component, load family. And that other one's still loaded in. I just didn't use it. Going to go to lighting, architectural, internal, and then we're going to do ceiling light. Let's do a box light, nice modern linear box. I'm going to say open, and it should show me. There it is. So this is my living room. I want to do some ceiling lights, 1x4, every couple of feet or something like that, or every 8 to 10 feet, like this. That's how you put your lighting in. So the only other thing you need to worry about for your ceiling plan is your supply for air conditioner and your return for the air conditioner. So if you look around in the room right now, we have 6 supplies, which are the big things that have like the louvers on them. That looks like an air vent. And we have 1 return. So each room at a minimum needs to have 1 supply and 1 return. So to put those in, we go to components again, load family, and we're going to go under mechanical, architectural, air side components. So air terminals are the same thing as vents. Heat distribution devices, we don't have to worry about that. So if you go to air terminals, we have round supply and square supply. And then we have square return and square register for the floor. So I'm gonna work with let's do round supplies. I think they look cooler. Gonna open that up. And then this is a nice little flat one. Put it in here. I'm gonna do like 4 for our living room area here. And even for something this size, we still only nearly need 1 return to suck the air back into the AC system. So I'm going to go back to load family, go back to MEP, or sorry, mechanical, architectural, air side, air terminals, and square return. And the return error isn't that pretty, so you usually try to put it somewhere away from where people can see it. In our room, it just blends in with the rest of the ceiling tiles, so I'm going to put it back over here, away from, actually on this side, away from the main part of the room. So I have 4 supplies and 1 return. So once again, you probably, for smaller rooms, you'd only need 1 supply and 1 return for each room, and then some lighting. So that's all you need for each level. Make sure you have that on each level and for every room.